Susie on the telephone. How are you, Susie?
How you doing, James? How are you doing?
Pretty good, actually.
It's evening time here in
Yes.
Waterford, southeast of Ireland. We got our first bit of snow. We got our first bit of snow this morning. So
That's awesome.
We're freezing our... I won't say.
Well, Susie, talk to our listeners here and tell us a little bit about yourself, because I know the website is suzic-music.com.
Music.com.
Yes.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
You can see my Facebook, my Twitter, my Instagram is there, my SoundCloud, and so anything that I suppose anybody needs to know about Suzic is all there on that first page of that website. And then obviously in Word Send, the second page is all about myself. But yes, I've been a long time at this, James, a long time. You could say I've probably been nearly 30 years writing songs and music.
Wow.
Sounds like a long time, sounds like nearly a half century. But it's just been quite a struggle. It's been very heartbreaking at times, but this particular year past, I've managed to get things moving along much more in the sense of that period. I was really not getting to where I needed to be. Just last March, I signed with a record label in New York City called Bentley Records, and basically with them I've had a couple of releases. Then I've done a couple of releases myself independently, because the first year of contract with Bentley, I was kind of restricted to a certain amount of releases. Like, I could release as many singles as I needed to, but one album release. So I've been quite greedy this year. I've had in total 4 album releases. So I've really been working pretty hard. And just recently there, I've had my album for my only Christmas time, released. And I just only found out this morning that I reached number 5 in the Turkey charts in Turkey, in the top iTunes album charts. I got into number 5 with the album, the Christmas album. So I was quite chuffed about that. It's nice to get some positive news like that, where you know that you're at least getting a bit of recognition, and of course it's all about, in one sense, it's about really getting the sales and the music too, because you put a lot of work and effort. So it's been a long time where I've been working where I haven't been paid. So certainly I'm feeling now that I can actually reach that kind of point where I can actually now start getting paid for my music. So yes, it's been a long journey. It really has been.
We've got a great guest today. Susan Carroll joins us here on iHeartRadio, AMFM247.com, TuneIn, iTunes, Radio Loyalty. And she joins us live. Check out the website, suzic-music.com. And also, Classic Dreams is available on iTunes as well. And she joins us today here on the telephone, all the way from Ireland, where they got their first snow, which is pretty amazing. And it is a fun time today. Now, tell us a little bit about how you got started doing music and being in the music business.
How did I get started? Oh, God, that's a big question. That was all the way back, because I always remember it was around the time of Live Aid, Bob Geldof. I'm sure you remember those concerts that he was doing, in both one in America and synchronized one in the UK and London. And it was around that particular time is when I actually started writing songs. I always loved music. I remember even as a child wanting my first guitar for Christmas. Which I never got. Santa didn't bring it to me, but anyway, that was, but I always, something always inside of me that said, you know what, I want to do this. I want to do this for a living, for my life, and I suppose when I was about, say, 17, 18 is when I first started writing the songs, and it was kind of at the beginning. I was doing demos, and I was walking around different publishers and sending them off in the mail to different companies and never really getting any feedback back. So in those early years, it was really the point where I was learning my craft. It was it was a huge struggle, but I was learning about the different things about what to do with songs, and I was all the time learning how to write songs and how to do them so properly, you know. And I wasn't getting much in those years. It wasn't the feedback wasn't really coming back, because that was well before the time of the internet. Like, it's much easier. I find it's much easier now to access companies, because even if you're alone, apart from Bentley, I have another publisher in the UK who's pitching a lot of my music now to a lot of film opportunities coming up in 2018. So he's pushing my music there also. And just very recently, only just really very, like practically this last week or so, I've connected with a publisher now in Nashville. And they're actually going to be pitching some of my music to film and TV opportunities also. And also to some very well-known artists too, with a bit of luck. One particular one, I won't mention, because it's early stages yet, but hopefully I'll get a couple of pitches in there to a couple of well-known artists that they've had a lot of success rate in that they've placed with their own songwriters signed, and they've placed a lot of songs with a wide range of country stars, you know. So I kind of got a foot in the door with them about a year or two ago when they liked one of my songs initially, which is actually on Classic Dreams, called You Are the One. And that was the first kind of seed was planted. they really went for that song and decided to pitch it for me. And it's a process in the sense you could get your songs pitched and you could get somebody snapping up straight away, and it could maybe take months, it could take a year, it could take 2 years. You know, it takes time. So you have to be really quite patient. And I've learned that over the years, James, you know, the hard way. This is a business that you don't get overnight success. You've got to keep working at it. And I would confidently say I've built up now connections this year, 2017, put a few releases out there, got a lot of good reaction, good feedback. So I can confidently say now, 2018, I'm expecting a lot of big things. 2018 is going to be a year when I feel that all the hard work I've put in to date is going to really now manifest into something really big, you know, that I feel I can really do this. Sometimes you feel, oh my God, it gets, as I said, I've had a lot of heartbreak, so, you know, but, you know, that's what makes you the person you are, and makes you the artist you are. It's through that heartbreak you can really get those songs from your soul and put them out there, and people can connect with them, and connect with the words, and say, yes, you know, I felt that. And so, as you can see from my, from the different songs, I sent you a few, you can see I do a lot of genres. I do from new age to a bit of classical, a bit of pop, a bit of country. So I kind of, I love to go through the genres, you know, whatever week I feel, okay, I'm going to write maybe new age this week, or maybe next week I might write a bit of country, or, you know, so that way I'm blessed. I actually have a gift, so I can actually write different styles of music, which is great because it helps, because it makes people then in the business say, oh my God, she can do certain songs for us, we need a certain genre. So that kind of helps instead of just stuck in one genre. So it's hard to tell. I don't know what my favourite genre is, you know, in the sense of I love them all. I love writing songs. It really doesn't matter what. It just comes out of me. And I'm pretty much a raw kind of songwriter, because I feel it inside. I hear, before I even do anything, I hear the melodies in my head, and I hear it all, what I need to do. It just comes very natural to me. I'm very natural, kind of raw kind of songwriter. I don't kind of get into computer, you know, where different songwriters have different ways, I suppose, you know, songwriters who get songs and they make them up on the computer, or, you know, different ways of doing it, whereas I can hear it all before I even do anything. I can hear the music, you know, in my head. I know exactly where I need to go, and it's just getting it across again. It's getting it out of the head then onto the keyboard. I use the keyboard to write my ideas. So it's really, it's a process, but it's a very rewarding one when it all starts to come together, you know. So that's what, I hope I've explained that as best I can about my journey. But yes, it's hopefully 2018 will be the year. But, you know, and it's a ready start, you know, James. So that's so yeah, that's what I can think for the moment. So
Suzanne Carroll with us today. She joins us live here on iHeartRadio, AMFM247.com. Tune in, iTunes, Radio Loyalty. Check out suzic-music.com. Find Classic Dreams on iTunes as well. And tell us a little bit about the writing process for some of your music.
yes, well, no, there's one particular song, Low of Life. I would have, many, many years ago, I would have connected with a guy called Will. I remember many years ago, I've never been on the phone to him. I actually had supposed to have a meeting with him, but I ended up being delayed in the traffic for this particular meeting that particular time, and I didn't get to connect with him, unfortunately. But, you know, these things sometimes they work out for the best. But he's wrote the music for Riverdance. And it's funny how things come around, you know, there was a group called Anuna, that were involved in Riverdance. They were singing at the beginning of that. So for the flow of life, for me, I was writing and I knew exactly what I wanted, because songs I write, I work with singers. Basically, I work with different singers to sing my songs. So I'm the writer, obviously, so I have to say, you know, I want to pick the singer I feel is going to be the best interpreter of his song or his singer. But by accident, I suppose, the singer that I came across for the flow of life, it just kind of fell on my lap, because the studio that I was working with the song, I had another singer who was going to sing the song for me, and for some reason she wasn't available. She was actually traveling. So the guy in the studio said to me, "You know what? I have somebody else for you that I think is perfect for me." And as it turned out, and it was quite ironic, the singer used to be with Anuna. And I thought, oh great, this is tremendous, you know. I thought, you know, this is like deja vu, like sense, because from some members of Anuna past, because they changed some of their singers over the years. And I actually did a project back in the 90s with a couple of their singers to do with something else. But when he mentioned the name, I thought, oh my God, this is the memories of Bill Wheel and the connection that I was making with him. Well, I managed to talk to him on the phone. I never actually got to see him. I thought, you know what, this is kind of like so life. And I thought, you know what, this is kind of meant. And so that was a start in him. I knew I had the singer, and it was the process of just getting the lyrics and the music, and it took, I suppose, a good month, 2 months with that particular song just to get it all together, because it was to and fro, and because the most important thing is when you're collaborating with musicians or with a singer, you have to do a lot of to and fro back to them and making sure you're perfecting. And to me, every song process really is from the seed that was planted, the first idea, to where it's finished. It probably takes about 2 months just to do one song to get it to where it needs to be. It sounds like probably a long time, or maybe some artists probably would do it a lot longer, some would do it a lot quicker, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so I'm very hands-on with everything, with the whole process of the song, you know, and whether musicians I'm working with or the singer, I like to have the input and, you know, guide them to where I feel the song needs to be, where it needs to be sung, or different lines of the song, or, you know. And for the first time, really, the song I've been working on very recently, and I might as well say the name of it now, because it still has to be mixed and mastered, but it's just the most recent one I've done come into my heart. It's a country pop song, and with that particular song, I actually, for the first time, not only did I write it, but I actually arranged it, and pretty much my arrangement would be produced also, which is another area, because I've always wrote songs and then worked with a producer, and I would have left it to the producer to arrange actual songs. It's different, obviously, different process with a song. People have different jobs. Songwriter, and then the arranger, the producer. For the first time, I was part of the arrangement of this song, and it really was a learning curve, and there was a lot of stress in one sense, but it was actually very rewarding, because I thought I've learned a new skill where I actually can do this. I can arrange a song, not only just write it, but get it together, arrange and instruments that have to be used on this song. And so yes, to me, I'm very dedicated, and it's the process that can take anything up to 2 months, James, to get a song. But to me, I need to be. It has to be 100%, So sometimes it's good to be a professional, sometimes not. It can be a bit stressful, but it just, to me, you have to do it right. You want to do it at all, So yes, that would be. I hope that gives a good insight to my process, to where. So what I do with the song, and so hopefully that I can let people know where I'm at, Okay.
We've got a great guest with us today. She joins us live here in our program. She has Classic Dreams that is available on iTunes. The website is suzic-music.com. That's suzic-music.com. Susan Carroll with us today here on iHeartRadio and AMFM247.com. Tune in, iTunes, Radio Loyalty. And tell us a little bit about Classic Dreams. It's available on iTunes. Tell us about it.
Yes. Classic Dreams basically is an album which has different styles. People will hear that. There's the New Age one, which I've just mentioned, Flow of Life. It's got a country pop song, which is You Are the One. It's got an R&B, which is What's Real Love. It's got some instrumentals in there, which would be different styles of easy listening, bit of piano, bit of orchestral. So I suppose with Classic Dreams, that's why I probably titled it Classic Dreams, because it's got a touch of everything in it. It's a bit of classic, and it's got, just good. I like to have a good variation in my songs, in my albums. If I'm releasing something out there, I'm just going to, try and have different genres on that, not just particularly. Well, I suppose a lot of artists would have the one kind of genre they would have. If they're doing country, maybe country songs on it, or they'd have pop songs or R&B. But I like to mix it up a bit, make it a bit interesting to people. They can say, oh yeah, that's a different style, that's it, and different ideas in it, different. So it's got 10 songs on it. As I said, they're all a good mixture, and no particular favourites in there. I enjoyed writing them all, and was one particular song actually got the chance to collaborate with a very good singer-songwriter from California called Krista Young. She releases her own music too, and a collaboration on What We Love with her, which is a great opportunity. I love collaborating with people, and I've had the opportunity in this past year to collaborate with people, whether it be songwriters or musicians from all over the world, you name it, from places like Israel to maybe Venezuela to Mexico, just all over, and it's a great experience, and just working with different cultures and different people, because it teaches you too a lot of things. So it's great, and it's great. I just, for me, every project, I put my heart and soul into it. Classic Dreams is no different, and I just hope that people like it. I hope they like the different styles on it and the different genres on it. And it's not a huge album. It's like 10 songs, as I said, and something there for everybody, and people that maybe like a bit of country, maybe like a bit of pop, a bit of R&B, a bit of New Age stuff.
Well, I hate to cut you off, my friend, but we've got to play the Flow of Life. So if you want to hold the line here for a couple seconds, we're going to get to that.
Absolutely.
It is the flow of life, and it is here on the world famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast. We're back with Susan Carroll here in just a few seconds. That is Susan Collins. Check out the website. She is fantastic. And before we let you go, how do people get a hold of you on social media?
Yes, they can get me on Facebook. Now, as I said, you've given out the website, www.suzic-music.com.
Yes.
So basically, all people need to do is go in there, and the first page, it's got all my connections there, and the links, you press on Facebook, you can actually connect straight away as you press. Each one is made up as a link. So you can press on the Facebook, and you press on the Instagram, and on the Twitter, and that will bring people straight into my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. If they want to manually I'm under suzic, just suzic music, that will take people into Facebook, and it's pretty much the same for Twitter. I'm under suzic music. Instagram is the same. So I've tried to keep all my kind of the names all the same so people can find me easy. But I think the best and the easy way for people to go in there at that first page, and they'll just go straight in. They can connect on that first page. Just click on the links that's there already, just to make it easy for people. So and they can find
fantastic. Well, it's been an honor and a privilege. I've got another guest waiting. We're going to move along, and I appreciate you being with us today. Thanks for joining us.